Hi, everybody. You're watching White Mountains TV on Saturday, September 5th. Many people in the Mount Washington Valley looked towards the iconic Cathedral Ledge and saw an amazing sight, a Black Lives Matter flag and a rainbow flag billowing in the breeze from high atop the ledge, several hundred feet in the air, and between them, a canoe seemingly suspended in midair. And here to tell us about this event, what inspired it, and how it took place is Janet Wilkinson, who is a local climber since 2003 here in the Mount Washington Valley. She is a mom, a climber, and a social activist. Janet, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's talk about this event. First of all, tell us about the background. How did this begin to happen? There were a lot of people involved. Who was it? Why did you do it? And how did you do it?
Yeah, so we're just a loosely affiliated group of mostly climbers and local community members, and just feeling like we need to spread a message of inclusion. You know, we all came to this action, this demonstration with different reasons and different whys for it. So I can't really speak for the group on that, but we agreed that we wanted to do this demonstration, and we did. So yeah.
What was the message that you guys wanted to get out there? What is what do you want people to know about the Mount Washington Valley?
Yeah, so for me personally, I wanted to share solidarity with the message that the flags themselves already give to the world, I guess. And just in the past few days, there's been incidents in New Hampshire, New Hampshire state representative who suggested burning and looting of homes of people who have BLM signs in their yard. And in Eaton over the weekend, a huge tree with a gay pride flag in it was cut down right on the roadside. And so I just try to imagine myself, if I was Black or gay or, you know, part of other marginalized groups in this country, how that would make me feel. And that's what made me want to act.
And so how did you go about choosing this way to communicate that message? Again, high atop Cathedral Ledge. Tell me about how this came to be. Again, who was involved and how did you physically accomplish this task? It must have taken forever to plan.
Yeah, it took a few weeks of planning, from, you know, sitting in, it literally was like fireside outdoor meetings, and a small group of us. We kept the group small for better or worse. We would have loved to have a bigger collaboration, and but to do an action like this, it needed to be a small group of folks. We are all climbers, so it's something we're comfortable with, is rigging the systems for safety and monitoring the demonstration throughout the day to make sure that everyone came home at the end of the day. And it did. It took a lot of time, from sewing the BLM flag to reconnoitering on the cliff the week before, and then on the morning of at sunrise setting it up, and keeping it up till sunset that day on Saturday.
And again, an amazing sight, seeing these flags billowing from Cathedral Ledge. But the thing that really got me was the canoe system that you rigged up. It looked like you had a canoe floating 300 feet in the air with paddlers inside. And it looks harrowing to me. It looks like something that I would dream of in a nightmare, being that high off the ground in a canoe. How did you dream up the canoe as part of this protest?
Yeah, we can't take a lot of credit, actually. There was a climber in the 1980s who did a similar stunt that he and his buddies dubbed the Canoeing Traverse. And so it was a nod to that part of the history of provocative demonstration, I suppose, from the 80s. And so we kind of recreated it for the day. And there were folks coming in and out. It turned out being out on the canoe was a good way to also monitor the flags as they were tangled in the ropes occasionally and things like that. So a few lucky people at a time got to go out and enjoy the view and just enjoy the moment.
And what was some of the reaction from onlookers? Of course, Cathedral Ledge is often populated with tourists, especially on a Saturday on a beautiful late fall weekend. What was the reaction of these people who were viewing you?
Yeah, overall it was shock at first. Definitely some folks worried for our safety, and then a lot of great conversations. Not everyone agrees with what they think those flags represent. So, but there's so much. It was a great opportunity to be just talking face to face, and we're all just imperfect people. So having those conversations is important. And we got a lot of feedback from folks that they felt really inspired and supportive, especially those who identify as being Black or people of color, or part of the LGBTQIA movement. So it was really nice to be able to show that we are welcoming folks as well.
Absolutely. The Mount Washington Valley has always been, well, we hope it is a place of inclusion. We hope people visiting see those symbols, but also feel them, know that they are welcomed here in the Mount Washington Valley. This is a place where everybody can enjoy these natural gifts that we all have been blessed with.
Well, I'll interrupt and say that I think we all hope for that to be the case, but I think that, part of the reason the reason we saw it necessary to do this is because that is not necessarily the case.
Absolutely. As you mentioned before, some of those ugly signs that have popped up in our community and across the state. Let's talk about, so this was not a quick demonstration. You were there for most of Saturday, but everything did come down Saturday evening. Did you have any trouble with authorities or any backlash from the protest that you staged?
Yeah, so we did have a law enforcement officer come up to, there's a road up behind Cathedral. So he came up and there was a brief interaction, and there was also interactions with the Park Service over, the fact that we were doing it, and we were allowed and even encouraged to continue the demonstration. And I think that points to a point of privilege that we have as a mostly white group of locals, and that can be part of the messaging as well, as like the Black Lives Matter movement wants all law enforcement interactions to be the experience that we had. So
that's fantastic. Going forward, anything else up your sleeves? Might we expect to see anything else in the near future?
I'm not really at liberty to say anything about that, but I think we all I feel motivated to continue to do this work and provoke good conversations, and even to to bring out some of the negative feelings that some people have. And we just have to have these discussions because we've got bigger fish to fry. Let's figure out how to get the communities that feel marginalized and experience racism and bigotry. We've got to overcome that, because we got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. Well, the statement was well made. It was well received. Just a beautiful thing to see on Saturday. Inspiring on so many levels, from me anyway, or to me. And I wish you the best of luck. What would you say to people who are looking for more information, maybe on or what would you encourage them to do who want to get involved and make sure that everybody does feel welcomed here in the Mount Washington Valley?
Oh, that's a great question. There are wonderful grassroots groups doing work in all areas of injustice and inclusion. I think too many to name, but if folks want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to provide my contact information. There's White Mountains Pride, there's the White Mountains Action Network, there are Black Lives Matter chapters all over northern New England, in Portsmouth, Manchester, New Hampshire, Portland, Maine. So I definitely encourage folks to get involved with all the grassroots organizing that's happening everywhere.
All right. And I think most importantly, everybody, just be a good human, be good people out there, and that solves most problems. But way to generate the conversation, way to bring it to the forefront, literally bringing it to the edge, I guess you could say, of one of our major cliffs in the area. But again, very inspiring, and thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much, Chris.
All right, Janet Wilkinson, thank you. And you were watching White Mountains TV.